my God, this is the best shot of caffeine ever. I'm fully awake.
Yeah, it's a wake up call, isn't it? So, wow. Apparently these people like you. That's really cool.
I'm so flattered.
Only dream. Room full of screaming women. Your birthday's actually 5 days after mine. You were born in Brooklyn, New York.
Brooklyn in the house.
Yeah. Did you have a really strong Brooklyn accent when you started acting?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
A bit of an accent.
If it's like no one from Australia, if it's like me, it comes out when you're talking to family.
I feel like I always do it, but maybe you don't hear it as much.
Yeah.
All right.
Hey, it only comes out when you're drunk, angry, and tired, right? Because you've got a lot of accent. Okay. So, you've had such a great career, like with a lot of modern episodic television, and it's just been such an incredible career. Like, how did you actually get started? Like, what was your journey like from the beginning?
Oh my gosh, well, I always knew that I wanted to act. It was like something that was ingrained in me at a very young age. My mother said when I was 3, I used to do like cereal commercials for her at the breakfast table all the time. I was also influenced by, now I'm speaking in a Brooklyn accent. I was also influenced by, see what you did to me?
It's almost my fault, sorry.
I was influenced by my aunt Candace Azara, who is a phenomenal, beautiful, classy woman who I've always admired, who works really, really hard in her craft. And I looked up to her as a young girl and still do as a woman. And I always wanted to be just like her. And because she has this incredible work ethic, and I just admired her. So as I got older, she always said to me, when I was 12 years old, I was approached by an agent when I was at lunch with her one afternoon. And this guy came up to her and said, "Oh my God, your daughter's so beautiful. Here's my card, and give me a call." And I was like, oh my God, this is it, it's gonna happen. Like, my dream's gonna become true, it's gonna become true. And we went to the bathroom thereafter, and she took the card and ripped it up. And I was like, what? And she said, if this is something you want to do, you have to pursue it yourself, and you have to really learn your craft. And that was such an important lesson for me. So from that point on, I said, okay, fine, I'm gonna learn my craft. And I studied my butt off for years, and still do. And didn't really pursue it until I was about 21, because I wanted to study. Yeah. So I studied for at least 5 years before I actually went out there on my first audition.
So when you get started, you know, you get one line here, one line there, and then you get a guest star role, and then you get a co-star role. What point did you go, oh wow, I think I can do this, like this is my job?
I was winning a lot of contests. And I thought, well, I guess I'm pretty good at this. I won like every contest in my acting classes. Like, you know, any casting sessions that we would mock up in a class, I would get the part. So I was like, well, that's validation. I guess I got something. So once I got an agent, it was like my 3rd audition I booked this movie called Spiders. And I learned that I beat 800 girls out. And it was like my 3rd audition ever. And I got paid nothing. I was actually homeless. I was living out of my car and at my girlfriend's house. And I was making $1,000 a week. And then it's like 10% here, 10% there. I mean, you're left with like $30, you know, after taxes and everything. It was my own stand-in. I did everything on I was like my own stunt girl. I did everything. And that's how it started. And then thereafter, I had my first pilot season, and I booked Spin City. And the television door just opened up for me. And then it was like one series after another, and guest stars, and so that's kind of how it built. So
you did The Defenders, you did Chase, and then your agent calls you and says, "Honey, I want you to go out for this thing called Once Upon a Time." I assume she's from Brooklyn, or you're a actress from Brooklyn.
All of a sudden, everyone's from New York.
Right, exactly. Me, you, it's just cool. So you get the call once upon a time. What was the audition process like and the days leading up to the beginning of the
Well, I think
series?
a lot of people know the story.
Yep.
So, but I'll say it again. I feel like someone else could tell this story. You don't know the story. I don't know the story. I'm going to tell you the story. I originally auditioned for a show called Combat Hospital, playing a trauma surgeon, and I was like, I got this. I played a trauma surgeon before. I got this. No, it wasn't. The casting director, at the end of like a 2-page monologue for Combat Hospital, said, I want you to audition for this show called Once Upon a Time. You'd be great as the evil queen. And I thought, what? Like, how did you just get the evil queen from that audition piece? Okay, great. Give me the script. I went home and read it and fell in love with it instantly. And it was like a Monday that I got the script. And that Friday I read for Eddie and Adam. And I read each scene once. And it was one as the evil queen where she interrupts the wedding. And I got to say that famous line. I shall destroy your happiness.
Where else in the world do people cheer when you say that? I just got chills.
You don't know the line. It's okay.
It was a
I
good
won't rip
applause.
out your heart.
Thank you.
It's my hiatus.
Thank you for generous. So, Adam Horowitz, you know, he said that the show is about the search for love, the loss of love, and the restoration of love. And I just think that's a great way to sort of summarize how the show goes. Your character has had this incredible arc over 4 seasons. What has that been like for you? Like going from I'm the good guy, I'm the bad guy, I'm the good guy, I'm the bad guy. You know, how's it been?
Keeps me interested.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's phenomenal. I've never been able to play so many characters on the show, or on a show for that matter. She has evolved so much from starting, you know, as the evil queen, because that's how we met her before flashbacks, and really learning where Regina came from, which was like this really innocent young girl who was in love. I know. That episode, I was like, things are going to turn around. Everyone's going to know her backstory, and I won't be hated as much.
One more time.
I can't understand, but I love you. Thank you. I was the character people love to hate, is what they used to say. Oh my God. Oh my God. So I've been able to play 7 different characters on the show, or 7 different versions of the character, which has been so great for me.
It's incredible
as
for
an actor.
Yeah.
It's like, it's just so diverse. It's like I get to play young Regina, the mayor Regina in love, the evil queen, the old hag, Ursula, and now Bandit Regina. Yeah, it's a dream role. It really is.
So before you did Once Upon a Time, had you done a lot of green screen work? Because there is a lot of green screen involved in the show. How's that experience been for you?
I learned very quickly. I'm sure some people know this story as well, but if you don't, I learned during the 2nd episode, and it was, you know, in early stages of filming a series, it's so nerve-wracking because you're portraying a person that is, you know, however old they are. I think she's like 200. Maybe not. But she's, you know, you're portraying this character, and so you're supposed to kind of know their whole lives, but you don't. And it's the 2nd episode, and I'm still learning a lot about this character. And in the 2nd episode, Regina kills her father and rips out his heart.
Oops.
Just one of the hardest scenes I think I've ever had to film in my career. And I show up, and I'm filming this scene on the green stage, and it's this huge, like fishbowl. It's like a big stage, and painted green. And it's not intimate. You have the tendency to kind of be very theatrical because you want to fill the space. But this scene required an intimacy because it was between two people and she's about to murder her father. And when I got on stage, I was really nervous to do the scene. And when I got on stage, I was like, God, something's not feeling right. Like why did this work in my living room when I was rehearsing this? Why isn't it working here? And I realized it's because I was in this fishbowl and I didn't have the walls that I had in my living room. So I had to really sit there and kind of close my eyes and create a world and build those walls around me. And that was a huge lesson. That taught me a lot about the green stage, that because you're on film, it's smaller. But when you're on stage, like here, I want to talk to the person in the back of the room. So I learned a lot. It was that second episode where I learned a tremendous amount. And prior to that, I had zero experience on the green stage.
So over the course of 4 seasons, just hundreds of actors have gone through this show, and you've touched on so many great characters, and you build relationships with people, and you become a family. Is there something that you do special when somebody leaves the show? Like on The Walking Dead, sometimes they'll go out and have a big dinner, and it's a very formal send-off, and it's very special. Is there something like that you do like for your show?
We do. We actually, when Michael Raymond James left, yeah, I know. When he left, we had a big party for him. And everyone showed up at this bar. I can't remember the name of it, but it was a big layout. Like we had a huge night out for him. Sometimes it's harder with some of the other characters. Like I took the Queens of Darkness out for dinner. I love those women so much. They are phenomenal. And so I took them out for dinner. So that was my little thing for them. But sometimes it's hard because of the hours and different schedules, and people have families. So we try to do the best we can when people are departing, but sometimes we don't always get around to it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm an actor myself, and there's been so many times where they're so busy and they're moving on. Like, wrap, clap, and nope, they're off. It's like sometimes
it's a wrap for Lana, Parrilla. It's like, okay, bye, next shot. Okay.
Absolutely, yeah. All right, great. So why don't we open up the floor and get some questions?
Yes,
so if
please.
you have questions, just head on over to the wall over there, line up, and just 2 at a time. If you come up to the microphone, so we can see. So just 1 or 2 people at a time.
Hi, Jen.
You got some friends here.
I see an evil queen over there. Stunning. With my heart. I wonder I've been having a tough morning.
We're good. I don't actually have a question, but since a lot of people, I'm just going to preface it with thank you. Because I'm sitting in a room full of people who are all here because of you. Some of us drove 10 miles, some of us traveled several thousand, and some of us are sitting next to people we don't know, some of us are here with groups of friends, that we all met online.